Welcome one and all to the Pastels of the Palmetto State. And on the evening, the engagement is shared between Charleston Battery and Indy 11. Howdy folks, with the coach Eric Dobransky. I'm Peyton Gallagher, and here tonight it is a special one at Patriots Point. The theme is Kick Childhood Cancer, and the Battery is doing its part to honor those children and their families who have fought and are still fighting every day. Izzy Sullivan has more.
Thanks, guys. Tonight, the Charleston Battery are playing for more than just 3 points. They're playing for a purpose. It is Kick Childhood Cancer Night, and it is especially meaningful here in Charleston. The night honors the memory of Rachel Jean Edwards, a beloved member of the Battery front office who passed away last July. Tonight, the players are wearing special gold warm-up jerseys, which will be autographed and auctioned off. The proceeds benefit the Rachel Jean Edwards Pediatric Oncology Fund at MUSC Sean Jenkins Children's Hospital, supporting kids and families who are in the fight right now. As Club President Lee Cohen said, supporting MUSC and Rachel's Fund is a way for the club, players, and community to come together and show the true power of soccer off the pitch.
A sobering reminder of why this game brings us together. As for this specific one, the stakes are as such in this last bend of the season. Charleston Battery, with all 3 points, clinched their playoff berth. Indy 11, just above the line for now and playing much better. They will have a tall task trying to stop M.D. Myers, our player to watch, the Beat Fleet player to watch. And Eric, this is a guy who tormented Indy 11 last these two got together.
And Peyton, it's the versatility that he offers, not only the team, but the game itself. He can stretch a back line, or he can drop deeper and be a playmaker. Then you accompany that with his clinical nature. He is a massive threat.
As for Indy 11, the team hoping to stop him on this day, playing much better as of late. The midweek result at Hartford, stopping a red-hot run from them.
This is a big 3-game stretch, starting tonight against Charleston. Then they have Birmingham, and then they're away at Rhode Island next.
Big things to come here in South Carolina. Up next, a big-time clash in the Eastern Conference. Indy 11 trying to stay hot on the road against Charleston Battery, as Battery tries to pursue the #1 overall seed in the conference. That's all on the other side of a break. Folks, don't go anywhere.
Hola.
¿Alguna otra cerveza?
No, me quedo ultra.
Ok, ahora vuelvo.
I can't wait.
Mr. Messi.
Make it look ultra. Cerveza light superior.
Dance like nobody's watching. Except when people are watching, like your roommate and the new boyfriend you forgot she was bringing over. Believe in yourself. But know your limits, because right before an interview really isn't a time to try being a hairstylist. Anything is possible. So yes, winning is possible. But so is not winning, which means sometimes the best way to play is to save some possibility for another day. The South Carolina Education Lottery, supporting better players and a better you.
Return to the field. Score the winning shot. Beat your personal record. Team up with MUSC Health Sports Medicine for all your sports-related injury care and rehabilitation. MUSC Health is the official sports medicine provider for your favorite local teams. From semi-pro athletes to weekend warriors, our sports medicine team provides state-of-the-art injury prevention, treatment, surgery, and rehabilitation for athletes of all ages. Go where the pros go. Schedule an appointment today.
Tees it up, Malloy! What a strike! And it's a free header, and it's the opening goal! Joey Apanonu! Landry, are you kidding me? Rodriguez! It's in!
Back at the points, at the Principal Points, where tonight's walkout is sponsored by The Ideal Life, the title sponsor of the Charleston Battery. Tonight's starting lineups are brought to you by Michelob Ultra. Much to pick through here, Eric Dobransky. As we start with Charleston Battery, here's what Ben Pierman has gone with to commence the contest.
3 changes from their matchup at Rhode Island as Apanonu gets back in the starting lineup paired with Leland Archer. along that back line. Douglas Martinez making his 5th start of the season, but in the attack, the presence of MD Myers and Cal Jennings. First time they are starting together since August 9th versus Lou City. This is a pairing that has 22 goals amongst the two of them.
And importantly, JD Torres back on the bench today after coming off at half against Lou City. As we look at Indy 11, people in places, and I'm going to let you do the rest. This is a much rotated team for Sean McCauley.
Yeah, going to be guided by Hunter Salt, starting in goal, split a clean sheet in the last matchup with Charles Cook. He's going to need to carry that collective momentum tonight to slow down a potent attack. 7 changes overall for Indy 11. We knew we were going to see some squad rotation from a midweek matchup.
Absolutely. It is with that Indy 11 will understand the task at hand. Sean McCauley was certainly not shying away from the fact that he was anticipating maybe sitting and understanding the price paid will be in suffering if Indy 11 is to get something done here on the road tonight. And so it goes. Charleston Battery and Indy 11, the replay of an earlier match this season. Charleston Battery flew to the results in that one. The first clash in Indianapolis. Battery emerged into this game having been beaten by Rhode Island FC by a score of 1-0 in their last contest. The 11 in the midweek. Big win over a red-hot Hartford Athletic. We are up and underway here at Patriots Point. The 11 trying to pick up 3 wins in 4 matches for the first time this year. Charleston Battery only once under Ben Pierman have lost consecutive games since his arrival in 2023.
And you almost get the sense, Peyton, that something's got to give in this matchup because Indy 11 coming off of that massive win at Hartford. And then Charleston Battery have not dropped back-to-back matches this season. They're going to want to make sure that that history stays its course. Indy 11 playing with that desperation, that urgency to find themselves and keep themselves above that playoff line.
Of course, Battery can secure their playoff spot, but that's all but a given at this point. They are to get all 3 points. It's hard to find the same level of urgency that their opposition will have tonight. Ball into the box, swerved away by James Musa. Throw is nicked away. Indy 11 deep in their own end, and it will be a goal kick. One of the first things you're looking to observe from this shape from Sean McCauley.
I want to see how they look when they regain possession. I think that's going to be what is going to be important for Sean McCauley and his side is what do they look like when they want to immediately climb the field? What does that first ball out of pressure look like? Where does it go? Is it progressive? Is it sideways? Is it backwards? Does it kind of let them reset? I think those are going to be the first impressions that I want to see from Indy 11. And the performance they put together against Hartford Athletic that midweek, I mean, they were steady in both boxes. Obviously, they took on quite a bit of pressure in some moments from Hartford Athletic, but a tremendous job of picking up a clean sheet on the road, something that slowing down a threatening attack like Charleston Battery, you can really stack performances from.
They have been a devastating counter-attacking team, Indy 11. Problem has been that the defense has been quite fallible, the leakiest in the league, having surrendered 40 goals on the year.
It has, and that's going to be something that you look at the final stretch here, they're going to want to fine-tune, and it's a team that has 5 clean sheets on the season, so it's not like they're dead last in the league with clean sheets. They're right in the mix there. It's just some of their losses have been by multiple goals. They've kind of conceded some goals here and there at times in matches where either they were opening themselves up and trying to get back into a game, and that's where you see some of the differences. But for Indy 11, it's going to be about finding that balance in both boxes, going out and scoring goals, but obviously winning those moments in the defensive end as well.
Will be a corner kick here, a Pepper Law home corner kick for Charleston Battery as they step to the mark and sharpen the blade for a set piece. They've been one of the very best in the league from dead balls as they prepare with Aaron Malloy for a shortly taken and rehearsed corner kick. Aaron Malloy at a better angle. Served in by Kelly at the back post. It stays on narrowly. And the ball actually did cross out over the end line. Moments of pause, a chance, Eric, for you to visit the keys to the game tonight. They're brought to you by Cruise Subaru, the official automotive dealer of the Battery.
Yeah, for Charleston Battery, first ball pressure. When you're playing a team that is that threatening in the transition, can you dictate and determine where that next ball goes? And when you do that, you can slow down that attack. You can then regain possession higher up the field. And for Indy 11, stay connected. They were switched on at Hartford Athletic. They didn't necessarily minimize the threat from Hartford Athletic, but they absorbed and they made key plays when they were there to be made. And I think that's exactly what they've got to do tonight. Sean McCulley was very clear that they need to stay concentrated tonight. It's going to be being switched on. Some of those moments where Charleston Battery unlock that space higher up the field and they put themselves in a numerical advantage where they can connect and link up. Good ball in.
Cal Jennings. He had devious ideas, but Indy 11 able to dodge that punch.
And that right there is kind of encapsulates the moments that the Indy 11 are going to have to face tonight. Good through ball, as we see Sean McCulley. Good through ball, but just met by solid defensive efforts. And you know you're going to absorb moments like that. Can you make the play when they're there?
And when you look at the team and the man who's architected it there, Sean McCulley, you get the understanding that he surrendered to the fact that they will break lines today and has picked bodies that can get back behind the ball and make those second interventions.
Well, isn't that the beauty of the game, is that you don't need the ball all the time to get a result.
Another ball across the bow. A heady clearance and finally hooked away in full. Down by Josu Landry. Langston Blackstock locates the ball well to Arturo Rodriguez, who's running and falling and told to carry on. Aaron Malloy, he's dangerous from there, but Hunter Silt will make a stop. Hunter Silt forced into action in the second half last week, and he makes another save.
Good creativity here by Rodriguez to drive into that space. But when you think that you've successfully navigated that first wave of attack from the Charleston Battery, they just flood that final third with numbers that they continuously put pressure on you. So that is going to be another piece to the puzzle for Indy 11.
Ben Pierman, his side, have earned a free kick here. His group have been so useful, I should say. Indy 11 earning the free kick, and they will defend. Ben Pierman trying to get the reading of this game.
And it was very clear that you need to take care of points at home. 8 games remaining, 5 of those being at home. It's important to pick up points when you're hosting at Patriots Point. Obviously knows that the difficulties and the challenges faced with playing an Indy 11 side. Now asking his team to stay switched on and detailed here on this free kick.
They have chopped and changed the center back partnership throughout the course of the year. Indy 11 will test this particular duo. It's a useful ball at the back post. Not all the way done away with. Musa, another hit and carried tall. Looks like Brian Schaefer was the one arriving on the scene, making his first start for the club today.
Yeah, both teams exchanging dangerous dead ball situations. Charleston Battery on a corner kick, and then here the deeper free kicks for Indy 11. And those are going to be the moments for Indy 11 attacking wise that you can get the numbers in the box, be really threatening, be opportunistic.
Ball rolled in for Cal Jennings, who just glides it wide. It is a brilliant piece of play. Cal Jennings, as always, looking to find the soft spot in behind.
And that's what Charleston Battery are so difficult to play against. They're so brave on the ball. This ball is threaded into such a narrow channel, and then you find the outlet to Cal Jennings. Such an adaptable threat this Charleston Battery are. They're so fluid, they're so interchangeable in terms of their movement off the ball.
Only one goal for Cal Jennings in the last 12 games after that. Certainly fit and firing start from him. But that darting movement was the thing that Sean McCulley felt like was keeping him up at night heading into this game, and you saw it on full exhibit. Battery commence their build again. They have had their heavy foot on the gas pedal in the first 10 minutes. It should also be said that last time these two teams got together, Indy 11 had already conceded twice at this point in the game. Josu Landry and Aaron Malloy, their 100-touch man. He's had 30 games in his USL Championship career in which he's met that threshold of 100 touches in a match. No other players exceeded 22. He did it last game against Rhode Island FC. Kelly shuffling infield. Arturo Rodriguez. Invite you in this moment to maybe cast your attention towards the off-ball movement and the patterns that this Battery team are willing to weave. Very fluid, very fun.
Very connected. I mean, they are a team that are very familiar with each other and know one movement equals another counter movement. As you can see right there, a player checks in and then it provides that space higher up the field, and that's Cal Jennings checking into that space. And even though it doesn't create anything in that moment, you're still moving defenders. You're still pulling players, whether it's out of position or out of different areas. And that's something that it might not mean something right then, but the ability to influence as this game wears on.
Taking quickly, as you say that, maybe plays into an earlier point that you made about just overall the way that Battery operate and the kind of focus that they require out of an opponent. Spotting wide, Langston Blackstock, who turns free of Bruno Rendon, in turn is sent to ground, and it's a free kick. This free kick scoring opportunity is brought to you by Pro Lift Garage Doors. Another Pro Lift Garage Doors free kick here for the Battery.
Charleston Battery. On your feet, make some noise.
Belongs to unmistakable Aaron Malloy. Referee today, Nabil Ben Salah, has not been required early and often. This is a window, as always, for Battery. Ball in. He's gone for the corner, and Hunter Schultz, all 6'7" of him, will reach high and claim it.
And that's just another added element that Indy 11 are going to have to be aware of. You mentioned it a few moments ago, how dangerous Charleston Battery are on those free kicks, those dead ball situations, and that's where they've found a lot of consistency, is that they require teams to concentrate defensively on them in the run of play, in transition, in those phases. But then when you also have the delivery that Charleston Battery have had throughout this season, whether it's Juan David Torres, whether it's Malloy, I mean, you add Jeremy Kelly into that mix. I mean, it's just been high quality, and then you add the runs in there. It's just another aspect that they pose that threat.
And partner, as a coach yourself, I'm sure you can appreciate the fact that there's no stone left unturned with Charleston Battery. Every margin they maximize.
Well, that's a great point, Peyton, because what you would also think about is the clarity and the responsibilities and the roles. I mean, when you have that kind of clarity and responsibilities and understanding and recognition, I mean, like you mentioned, there is no stone unturned. Everything is covered when you know going in, and especially with the rotation that we see throughout the league. It's not just the Charleston Battery, it's every team. You're gonna play a midweek game, you're gonna play on the road, at home, you're gonna interchange. It's gonna ask a lot of your team, and for you to be performing at that kind of clip and that kind of performance, it just speaks to the volumes of, you know, the understanding that this team has of each other, and then the execution portion as well.
Bears down the results. Another spotless campaign for Charleston Battery as Cal Jennings was hoping to add another highlight as he bent in behind. Hunter Schultz will make another stop. Not sure if that will count towards his save tally, but he had 7 all in the second half, entering in reserve. Reese Charles Cook, who had to leave that game against Hartford with an injury. get the sense he's going to be called upon quite a bit tonight.
And what's so fascinating for Charleston Battery is 22 matches in, they've only been shut out 3 times this season, but all 3 of them have been on the road. And so that's something from their last matchup at Rhode Island. They lose 1-0. You know, what the differences are from their performances on the road from being at home. And that's where Indy 11 is going to want to make sure that they bend but don't break. They absorb a lot of this pressure. They make sure they intervene when it's necessary.
Blackstock at the controls. Shuffling run for Cal Jennings, recycled. Aaron Malloy puts a foot on it.
But what I was going to finish with was you do need to show that threat going forward. You can absorb as much as you need to, but you also do need to show Charleston Battery that you have the opportunity to strike when it's there. And that's why that front 2, Chiza and Bernays, is going to be important. That ability to climb the field at a rapid rate, provide that outlet.
Aaron Malloy changing the point. Akpanonu. And Malloy grabs the baton again. Kelly. Long wide for Blackstock with growing influence. He slides wide for Aaron Malloy. Well defended there by James Murphy in midfield. All the second balls, though, belonging to Charleston Battery. Shot fired in and fizzing wide. It was help there as well by way of save or block. Akpanonu, the one who took sight of target.
Good intervention by Hunter Salt, making a save to his right that he needed to make. And this is the numbers that Charleston Battery will hit you with as they see themselves on the ball. And now you get these center backs in the box.
Arturo Rodriguez needling. Out of play, off the head of Akpanonu. Time now for tonight's music injury report. MUSC, I should say. Charleston getting back to fitness as well as Indy 11. Not a long laundry list, but everybody nursing a bit of a knock this time of year. That's maybe made manifest in how Sean McCauley has set up his side today. No Aiden Quinn. Indy 11 just trying to build some tempo at this point. 17 minutes in, Battery have now completed close to 150 passes, only 5 for Indy 11. Akpanonu uncontested as he approaches the midway stripe.
And to add to your point, final third entries 21-4. But this is moments early on in the game. I mean, you hear a lot of coaches talk about rest defense throughout the season being switched on when you get dispossessed. And when you see this kind of possession and this kind of entry this early into a match, you have to be careful, because this is when you start throwing numbers and you're a bit braver going forward and a bit quicker to go forward, but now you expose yourself in that quick transition counter moment.
And from the Indy 11 POV, you almost have to earn that platform to attack the game late on,
And that's why early exchanges are so important, whether it's the individual duel or the collective, because you're really setting the tone and you're setting the temperature for where this game is going to be won and lost.
Well, that paints a picture in the numbers. 87% of the ball belonging to the side in white. And that number will climb as MD Myers skips away. Malloy. One-touch stuff. Nothing unlocking though, and Murphy's away with it. Unable to set free Bernays. Battery go again. It's a broadside from them as the cross is blocked out for a throw.
And this is a Charleston Battery side that had 67% of the possession at Rhode Island, and had fallen in that game 1-0. So now it's about that purposeful possession, that intent, that ruthlessness to go forward. Obviously, we've seen it with some of those threaded balls into those narrow gaps as we see another foul.
This free kick and scoring opportunity is brought to you by ProLift Garage Doors. Another ProLift Garage Doors free kick. It's rolled along too quickly for the liking of Nabil Ben Salah. It is a test of the mettle. The endeavor of Indy 11 as they have really set themselves up as a levee, taking wave after wave of pressure from this Battery side. Aaron Malloy, heels on the touchline. Cold gaze into the box, always calculating he is. With swoop and swing and a high header from MD Myers. Clear-cut chance for Battery, unpunished. MD Myers, who had the brace in the first 10 minutes, lost these two tangled. Sitting on 10 goals, so useful for Ben Pierman.
I mean, you almost have to pick which player and how you want to minimize the threat from Charleston Battery. I mean, 10 goals from MD Myers, 12 goals from Cal Jennings. Obviously, Juan David Torres is an absolute threat when he comes back. Obviously available tonight. And then you just add in so many of the other players that can play make, that can punish you when just given a step.
You spoke earlier about how much these players and profiles resemble one another, how interchangeable the pieces are. MD Myers feels maybe an outlier to that model and kind of unique in his player profile within this team.
And I would add, from the player profile side of it, I would also say the team, the selflessness from the team just enhances a lot of those qualities. Another great ball in.
Cal Jennings making things uncomfortable. Final product ever elusive. Landry. Well, at this trajectory, Aaron Malloy will have no problem getting to that next and 31st 100-touch game. An excellent tackle. Scooped out for another throw as a Battery player is down. At a glance, it looked like it was Douglas Martinez who took the blow. Making only his second start in the last 10 games. That is, in fact, Martinez. He is seriously ailing.
You see him thriving in pain, and you see this tackle out in the wide space.
This injury stoppage is brought to you by MUSC Sports Medicine. And it looks like a ghastly picture right now for Douglas Martinez. Ben Pierman trying to work a newfound scenario if Martinez cannot continue. JD Torres is there on the bench. Not sure if Ben Pierman would like to give him this long of a run out. Of course, a manager that has seldom had a mistake or error compound itself, and that's evidenced in the fact that this Battery team just does not lose consecutive games.
Yeah, and he highlighted this week this group's character, their work ethic, into their ability to bounce back from those results. And you see it in the sustainability that you've seen throughout the season. And obviously it looks like Douglas Martinez is back on the sideline and might return.
For now, it's Battery down to 10 men and quickly winning a whistle. Joe Rodriguez takes the knock. He's drawn 3.25 fouls per 90 minutes this year, which is a skill at a certain point. It is another pro lift free kick. Aaron Malloy casts his long shadow and lifts in. A spearing header glides just ever narrowly wide. It was Langston Blackstock who had the moment of opportunity. Tune in September 10th for the USL Jägermeister Cup semifinals. From 38 clubs down to just the final 4. Rhode Island FC takes on Sacramento Republic FC at 7 p.m. Eastern. League One's Greenville Triumph. They battle Hartford Athletic at 7:30 p.m. all on ESPN Plus. Rick Wright, Greenville. Rick, a good buddy of Ben Pierman, both clubs in the state of South Carolina. Charleston helped him out on the final day of the group phase to get Greenville going into the knockout, and Sean McCauley's bunch paid that price.
We have just continued to see quality matchup after quality matchup in that Jägermeister Cup. Same goes for the semifinals. We saw it throughout the group stage and then the knockout round.
Not quite sure what's going on there. It was Sumare that was making the most of his theatrical debut. Bill Bensalaw, one of the league's very best and brightest with the whistle, will ensure that nothing of the like is allowed to continue in this game. Quite firmly, in fact, it appears.
Yeah, communicating it early is always best in terms of allowing these two teams to continue to play the way they want to, but also understanding that he knows exactly what he's looking out for, and now it's up to the players. They've been warned, they've been talked to. Now it's up to them to adjust.
In doing so, the dark artistry, if you will, and not quite sure where your persuasion falls on such topics, but if anything, it disrupts the rhythm and tempo that Battery are building. Benofemo has crossed some boundary of the game. Now he's crossed the literal one. Heads down immediately for another Indy 11 throw. Chested down. Unable to dodge away Charleston Battery. That's a well-sculpted ball. And Zamudio has fumbled it away for a corner. Indy 11 have been one of the best corner kick teams in the USL Championship. They prep what has probably been their best opportunity of the game.
Early match management on full display from Indy 11. Starts with that talking to from the official, then it leads to a couple throw-ins. You're able to get players into position to threaten out from that wide area, and then you earn yourself a corner.
Indy 11 have scored a league-high 16 set-piece goals, in by Murphy, out by Zamudio. Cal Jennings linking a teammate. Out on the run is Kelly. And a foul first. Battery matches are the perfect place to make lifelong memories with your friends and family. Your group of 10 or more can enjoy discounted tickets, exclusive on-field experiences, and private hospitality areas. To catch the match, visit charlestonbattery.com to learn more and plan a memorable night at Patriots Point. The scenery in this particular venue is hard to top at any level of the game in the U.S. USS Yorktown watching on as it's parked permanently now in the bay at Patriots Point. And another foul has been given here in the first caution of the match. Felt like that was coming. It's Finn McRobb who sees his name taken, making only his 6th league start of the year. First time playing in the last 4 games.
See this just quick combination out in the wide spaces, and Rodriguez getting in behind, and McRobb making sure that not going to get any clean look at attacking that byline and getting a service off. Now you just leave them to the free kick, get bodies behind the ball.
And that is Douglas Martinez, who is down on his haunches again. Injured earlier, and this could very well be the end of the line for him. Showed the fight to carry on, but at a certain point, the player has to listen to their own body.
Yeah, you hate to see this in any situation with a player getting injured and having to come off. And then now as you head towards the tail end of the season, those weeks, those games,
sure,
not that they weren't significant beforehand, but obviously valuable as you try to build that collective momentum, and then obviously that individual momentum as well, stack performances. You got to hope that Douglas Martinez is okay, but to your point, get to a spot where you feel like you can't continue.
And here is your rollout, red carpet at the feet of Juan David Torres, who makes his first reappearance since coming off at halftime against Louisville. Has been dealing with a bit of a hip tweak throughout most of the season. They've been trying to manage him with the bubble wrap coming off. Only a half hour gone here in this game. He is the maestro. Ben Pierman has called him at times the most clever player he's ever been around, and that is high marks. Now the substitution has not been finalized yet. Josiah Park is the 4th official. Marcus Moss and Aaron Riley, the ones joining the Bill Ben-Salah, marshaling this contest. As the abacus shows, it is 80 for 42. It is a public sub, and it is the public favorite, Juan David Torres, who comes into plenty of applause and roses.
Just an electric player.
He wastes no time. The ball comes, the ball goes. You said it though, electric, spontaneous, and one of the brightest players in this league. Good piece of tight space work from Aaron Malloy, who jousts and jostles and has won a corner. So far, so good. 33 minutes gone for Indy 11. They have endured everything Battery have offered. Charleston trying to break through. Ball in, coasting straight onto the mitts of Hunter Schultz. Taking no chances with the punch.
Yeah, that wand of a left foot from Juan David Torres. Playmaker that he is, and obviously dropping in to get on the ball.
Oh, that's just terrific in the distribution. And Malloy, a little bit loose with the pass, intercepted. Indy 11 just can't do anything to get ahead though. Torres again. And taken well by Schultz. we'll say this, he is the kind of goalkeeper you want in this kind of game. Battery are back in action here at Patriots Point on September 13th as they take on Oakland Roots. Tickets for the match on sale now via SeatGeek, official ticket provider of the Battery. Get yours now. Just rounding out though, Solt standing 6'7". He is the tallest man in the top divisions of American soccer and will use all of that wingspan to collect these balls into the area.
And for him, it's the decision making that he's been making right now. It's the ability to catch or punch. And that's going to be key with what you were mentioning is dealing with that wide service. You're going to be forced to make decisions not only in quick succession, but also in and around traffic when you have that chaos, that havoc around you. So we see Indy 11 teeing up this long throw.
Missiled into the area, running away at the near post. James Musa happy to let it bounce a couple times and do it again. Making maximum use of every set piece opportunity, and yes, these do count. Zamudio and Co. dug in deep. Guided off its trajectory, and a foul is given. Looked like it was Leland Archer, their captain, who rose tall. And it's a free kick coming. This is feeling eerily akin, though, for Charleston Battery to the performance against Rhode Island, where they controlled the game with the ball and generated absolutely nothing in terms of meaningful chances.
Yeah, Ben Pierman had talked about, yes, they won the battle of possession, but it was a lot of possession in midfield. Obviously, we haven't seen a tilt in what we've been able to see from Charleston Battery tonight. They've been able to get into the final third. They found some of the wide areas, but you also wonder, in the 11, doing a good job of defending it when they are dealing with the wide service.
Arturo Rodriguez in a pocket. A flick from Torres, a touch from Myers, a tuple, a point, and a penalty. MD Myers willing to scrape his way in, and he draws the illicit contact from Benofemu, and it's to the spot it goes.
And that was going to be the question, is when you have a team that's accessing that wide space, that half space, you begin to stretch a back line. You begin to find some of that space centrally, and you see Charleston Battery, this link-up play, the combination, and then MD Myers, the clever play to get himself between the defender and the ball, making sure that he is absorbing the contact to either make a play or make the defender travel through him. He earns this penalty here in the first half that they have done a good job of creating in and around the box, but nothing clear-cut just yet. Big opportunity here for Charleston Battery and Cal Jennings.
And so it belonged to their main marksman, Cal Jennings, who's been in a bit of a trough in terms of the goal scoring. No time like the present. Only one goal in the last 12 games for him. Finds himself nose to nose with Hunter Solt, who has failed to save a penalty in live action this year. Cal Jennings. And a yellow card. Looks like that may have been to James Murphy if he had invaded the D. That's technically an illegal position. It is just a guess. Cal Jennings has had time to think this over. Cal Jennings for Charleston Battery. Cold and calculated. It's 1-0. Battery blowout in front.
The composure and the confidence that this is taken with. Obviously here, MD Myers earning the penalty doing a terrific job of bodying out, pinning the defender, and then Cal Jennings. Just cool, calm, collected, clinical in the finish. Obviously, in those kind of run-ups, you're looking for the goalkeeper, where their movement's taking them.
Sent back, spilling towards Zamudio. Battery goal is brought to you by Diamonds Direct, the official jeweler of the Battery. And it said that pressure makes diamonds. That proves evidently true. So it all changes now, and Charleston sit with the edge. And the 11 forced to come up out of their shell. And you will see how that changes the conditions and texture of this tie. Watch the USL Championship in Spanish on 2DNA, the nation's leading Spanish language sports network. Mexico United takes on Detroit City FC on Wednesday, September 10th at 9 p.m. Eastern on 2DNA. USLChampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. Sent spinning into side netting. It's a goal kick. So for Sean McCulley, at this point, do you try and push to maybe get something and reverse the concession before the end of the half? Or do you sit in and try and damage manage a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that they, up until that penalty, the overall commitment and management of this first half has been solid for Sean McCulley and his side. They've made plays when they were there. They've intervened defensively. They've made it difficult for the Charleston Battery. Obviously concede the penalty, but to your point, I just think you see this half out, you get into the locker room, you make some changes, have a little discussion, problem solve a bit. And this is a team that in their most recent match against Hartford Athletic, efficiency was the name of the game. They had 5 shots, they had 3 on target, and 2 of them were goals. So they are not a team that needs quantity. They just look for high quality, and that's going to be what they're looking for. Obviously, now they're in a position where you can't concede a second goal.
That has been the big problem for them, the defensive ends. If anything, to make bad, maybe a little bit worse for Indy 11. Also conceded the most goals in the second halves of games at 26 on the year. Bruno Rendell gets a touch, but nothing more. Contact, and referee has immediately been called upon. Player down is the recently acquired Jeremy Kelly. It just kind of looked like he popped a tire.
This is turning into a really difficult scene for the Charleston Battery. Obviously, you already lose Douglas Martinez in this first half. Now Jeremy Kelly.
Jeremy Kelly, fresh in from Crawley Town, where he had just come off what was a full season playing in England. Had come up to the boil, was starting to start for this Battery side, a player that's well acquainted with Ben Pierman, previously having played for him in Memphis. The story is well documented. Battery maybe asked to look into their dugout again, second time in this first half. If you're just now tuning in, maybe flipping around because of the rain delays in other games, score sits 1-0 by a penalty that Cal Jennings got the go-ahead. And this is Jeremy Kelly who's down, but let's take a look back at that goal to get out in front from Charleston Battery.
And that famous question, does the person that draw the penalty deserve an assist?
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, that's good work from MD Myers, obviously very clever. And then Cal Jennings trying to get a read on Hunter Sultan. You see him just drifting off to his left side a bit early, and a clinical finisher like Cal Jennings is going to take that and just be composed with what he does. And this is terrible sight to see with Jeremy Kelly coming off and obviously in clear pain and discomfort.
It's a serious wobble, and you wonder if Charleston might choose to play this out down to 10 men and reevaluate in the locker room. That's what Ben Pierman is having to weigh right here. Given the amount of stoppage time, though, that you'd have to imagine is going to be doled out, that might be too much of a gamble. It does look like Emilio Icaza is being prepped. Well, if anything, Battery will know that they're in good hands. Icaza has played in all 22 games this year, has scored twice. Really been in excellent form starting these last couple of games, in fact. It is just ridiculous depth that's been built up over the years for Ben Pierman.
Yeah, Icaza started the last 2 matches and played up until the 87th minute against Rhode Island, so has played significant minutes for the Charleston Battery this season.
Second public sub of the first half, and what's more, because neither of these injury substitutions have come because of a head injury, Battery do not get afforded that extra substitution. A scouting ball in behind and swept away, expertly so, by Akpanonu. Board has been charged up, and the word is 5 minutes of stoppage time. Stoppage time is brought to you by MUSC Health Sports Medicine. Charleston trying to keep their lead healthy into the curtain fall. It is a throw-in. A chance for Indy 11 to turn the temperature up. Hoisted into the box. It's free at the penalty spot and striped wide. That's as about inviting as it really gets. At the top of the box, off the skip, it looks like Josh O'Brien.
Oh, and that's going to be one that Indy 11 is going to want to take advantage of, and they're going to highlight in the break because they've had a couple opportunities earlier in this first half off a free kick, and then that one right there on a second phase after first contact.
Arturo Rodriguez. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the Academy to the big leagues, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, Eric, I am told it is the player's choice. Can you confirm?
I can.
Company man, we'd love to see it. Hunter Sult has been asked to dig deep, get down and dirty. This team have very much so done the same. Plenty of defending at this point in the game for Indy 11. It's once more a searching effort that will stay in the bounds of play. Bernays catching up. Indy 11 doing their best just to link 1 or 2 passes at this stage and fail in that particular task here.
And I still think that Sean McCulley and his side should be not necessarily happy, but pleased with this first half performance because they have been workmanlike, they have been steady, they have been committed. They have forced Charleston Battery into some difficult, challenging decisions, and you want to frustrate a team that is that threatening offensively and that threatening on the ball in possession. Now you just need to go out and create that moment, and I think it's all about their outlet, that first ball pass. Can it be progressive? Can it be forward? Can it be a win here at midfield?
Chance to maybe catch the keeper off the line. It's given a ride. It looked like Zamudio had it covered. You appreciate the industry, I guess.
He's trying to catch Zamudio off his line and see if he knew where he was in his box, and that's going to be where Indy 11, can you create? Mentioned it earlier, it doesn't need to be quantity, it just needs to be quality, and then you need to go and convert and be clinical in that moment. This defensive effort has been unrelenting. They have got numbers behind the ball. They've got good support. And up until conceding that penalty, they were dealing with defending wide areas pretty well.
Some central penetration for Indy Myers. Cartwheel and upending and a yellow card for the Battery number 9. That is one place where Battery have not been able to inhabit very much in terms of territory so far. That area just at the top of the box where the real dangerous chances come from.
It is, and it's almost as Indy 11 is conceding that wide space and then committing the numbers centrally and saying, hey, we're going to be ready for this wide service. We're going to be ready for those central entries. And other than conceding that penalty for MD Myers, they have done a good job. See MD Myers picking up the yellow here, trying to make a play, regain possession in that area that you were just talking about.
Talking to Ben Pierman, apparently there's a magical assist zone in their mathematical calculus that's important, but he would not share where that region lies with us. That is a good place to be, though, in that width of the goal, stretch forward type of area. As we tick down towards the end of what was given for stoppage time. A stiff header away from Schaefer, and that will carry us across the line. So with 2 whistles, the game is 1-0 at the break. Eric Dobransky, the autopsy.
For Indy 11, that first ball, how do you find some structure? How do you find some threat going forward when you do regain possession? And for Charleston Battery, it's about when they do win that ball higher up the field, can they be a bit more ruthless in that moment? Because when they get possession and they allow Indy 11 to get numbers back behind the ball, it's like almost having to restart that engine. Can they go threaten right away?
It is a biteless, if not bruising half for Indy 11 as Battery have the edge at the intermission. It sits 1-0 at Patriots Point. Much more to come here on the halftime report as Battery have it all to play for. Indy 11 trying to make way back into the game when we return. Halftime coverage on the other end of a break here.
Charleston is located in the low country of South Carolina.
The history here, it runs deep, and you can't imagine being anyplace else.
This place is magical.
Return to the field. Score the winning shot. Beat your personal record. Team up with MUSC Health Sports Medicine for all your sports-related injury care and rehabilitation. MUSC Health is the official sports medicine provider for your favorite local teams. From semi-pro athletes to weekend warriors, our sports medicine team provides state-of-the-art injury prevention, treatment, surgery, and rehabilitation for athletes of all ages. Go where the pros go. Schedule an appointment today.
Declare your purpose at Charleston Southern University, offering a wide range of undergraduate degree programs, including majors like aeronautics, engineering, business, and education. CSU is committed to providing you with a biblical worldview and a cutting-edge education. The campus experience includes Division I athletics, small class sizes, intramural sports, and more, all at the only Christian university in the low country of South Carolina. Join the Buccaneer family and apply today at charlestonsouthern.edu.
When things heat up, you don't just want a cold one. You want the coldest one. The cold lagered, cold filtered, cold packaged one. Mountain Cold Refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Back from the break, the Ideal Life halftime report rolling on here, and in honor of Battery's Kick Childhood Cancer Night, Chloe Youts and her dad, Mark, sit down to talk about Chloe and her fight and victory against childhood cancer.
My name's Chloe, and I'm 6 years old, and I'm in 2nd grade.
Yeah, Chloe has actually been pronounced cured. So it's been a long time that she's been in remission. She's she's doing remarkably well and kind of setting the trend a little bit, especially on her type of cancer. You know, she's beaten the odds pretty soundly, and so we're lucky to have her here.
My sister, she's 9.5, and she's a great big sister. And I have 2 siblings that I love.
And you have a baby on the way?
Evelyn. She's sharing a room with me. I can't hear her cry sometimes.
What about your kitties?
Sushi and dumpling. Sometimes when I fill their toys, they try to go and get it. The boy dumpling, he likes to sleep in my bed sometimes. Sometimes when I sleep crisscross, he sits in the middle. I've been in swim team before.
What's your favorite stroke?
Freestyle.
Can you show him? Show it off. My mom was always good at reminding me that, you know, if anybody was strong enough to get through it was Chloe. You know, so I was glad to have that little bit of confidence, but overall it was pretty heartbreaking, pretty tough to deal with. It was hard at times to keep the faith, keep strong in her and, you know, the medical professionals. She was treated down at MUSC. They were fantastic. They were absolutely wonderful. But I think a lot of it was really just kind of channeling the love and energy that people all over the world were sending us. You know, she had people all over the United States, and Armenia, and Europe, and Africa, and all over praying for her. And, you know, I think it truly made a difference. You know, it definitely strengthened me, and I think if anything, I tried to pass that on to her too. She really doesn't let a day go by without commenting on how happy she is to be here, how beautiful the day is, how wonderful just life seems to be. And so it's really just a good reminder, you know, of how tough things can be sometimes, and then also, you know, human perseverance, especially in little farms. You know, I hate to say it, but to spend every day and every minute as if it were the last. You know, there were a lot of times where it certainly felt like it could have been. You know, but we really learned to make the most of every situation we were in, every opportunity. She made me smile and laugh in the darkest of times, which really is, again, just kind of a testament to Chloe, who she is as a person, and, you know, the incredible inspiration she is. As tough as times can get, you know, just spending that time with each other and making the most of every moment is definitely the lesson I would say to pass on.
Good, Charles.
Prinks tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines, from early mornings to late nights, from fun with friends to winner takes all, from the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinks tires will be there for the long haul.
Strikes with the right and opens the scoring. A dream start for the home side.
Wow, what a strike from Westchester, and it's Prince Sadie.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way.
Focus!
Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power.
Whatever it takes.
Trusted for over 100 years. Tiger Balm's proven herbal blend tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger so that you can rise above pain.
Let's make a Karate Kid.
And get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
Major semifinal. It's Hartford the lead. Greenville is on the semifinals. Sacramento is heading to the semifinals.
¿Alguna ¿Alguna otra cerveza?
No, Michelob Ultra.
Ok, ahora vuelvo.
I can't wait.
Mr. Messi.
Michelob Ultra, Cerveza Light Superior.
As it sits 1-0, it's a pretty picture for Charleston Battery. That's our score. The scores from around the league as we take a peek under the hood. Find out if Rhode Island FC and Louisville ever actually got their game going. They have, and Louisville's winning. Not good news for Charleston.
Yeah, that's going to be something for Lou City as they continue this pace for the Players' Shield, picking up all 3 points because Charleston Battery are nipping at their heels. Neil Collins returning to the Tampa Bay Rowdies, and Al Lang up 1-0 at the break, and then Hartford trying to recover from that midweek loss. They have been hot coming into that match, and big points to put them up in that top 4 race.
As we look at the schedule, much has been made about how good Louisville's been. Sacramento quietly has maybe been the best team in the league over the last couple of months. As for what's coming up here tonight, it's a big-time battle between FC Tulsa and Birmingham Legion as Tulsa try to keep pace, of course, with Sacramento Republic. Plenty of action from in and around the league as we continue this wonderful season in the USL Championship. The news and the notables in the division, and the picture that is taking shape in this particular week in the campaign. The news and notes here as we really get a good reading of what's going on during this international break. So many players in the 2 divisions sporting their national team in this window.
And Rubio Rubin, one of the players for Charleston Battery, representing his team, his country in the World Cup qualifiers. And then obviously Charleston Battery and Lou City just continue to set the pace for not only the East, but the entire league. And Charleston Battery, although they've dropped those 2 matchups against Lou City, are continuing to keep pace and make sure that they feel that pressure throughout.
And a big moment for Finn Sundstrom as he's earned that professional contract, maybe in part because he's been part of a team that is the only team to beat both these 2 that we're talking about, Charleston and Louisville. Well, Charleston are the main attraction here tonight, though. They will try to continue what's been a good result so far in the second half. We come back. It is live action here at Patriots Point as it sits 1-0, Charleston Battery a nose in front.
Return to the field. Score the winning shot. Beat your personal record. Team up with MUSC Health Sports Medicine for all your sports-related injury care and rehabilitation. MUSC Health is the official sports medicine provider for your favorite local teams. From semi-pro athletes to weekend warriors, our sports medicine team provides state-of-the-art injury prevention, treatment, surgery, and rehabilitation for athletes of all ages. Go where the pros go. Schedule an appointment today.
30 years of covering the Low Country, I know what your home means to you. Hi everyone, I'm Dean Stevens, and when it comes to heating and air or plumbing needs, I call Fix It 24/7. Why? This team is old school, do things the right way, they care. Whatever it takes to get the job done. I've seen it firsthand and why they call it legendary service. Nothing but the best for a legendary city. More than 500 5-star reviews, and I'm obviously not alone in how I feel. The next time you need service, go to fixmyhome247.com and click the Book Now button.
Set up to set out in the second half of play here in Charleston. The Battery out in front of Indy 11 by a total of 1-0. As for how we got here, the Public's first half highlights coming to you. Battery Had so much of the ball in that first frame. Finally, we're able to manufacture something, but not for lack of trying. Plenty of danger early, Eric Dobransky.
Yep, this starts with a threaded ball through from the back line into the midfield, then quickly played to Cal Jennings, who goes straight at Hunter Salt, pushes it just wide. And the moments for Indy 11 were manageable. I mean, obviously Hunter Salt makes a save going to his right here, but overall it was work in and around the box until the 36th minute, and they accessed some of the half space and then the combination play, and then MD Myers just clever with his ability to put himself in a position where he forces this foul. He puts himself in between the ball and the defender, and then the inevitable finish from Cal Jennings. I mean, he does not miss from the spot. So clever, so composed. Gets Hunter Salt going to his left. But this half ends with a good chance from Indy 11, a long throw. They've had an early chance in that first half off a free kick. They're going to have to be efficient with the chances that they create.
As we look at the tail of that tape and the stats from that first half, there's going to be one number that jumps out to you, and it's the one that starts with 8 and ends with 6. That's the amount of possession Battery had as they hope to continue that level of dominance into the second half, which we do seem prepared to jump into now. As we look back out to the live pictures here at Patriots Point, Charleston Battery, Indy 11, and Indy have to get their shovel out. They have a hole that they've dug themselves that they must find a way out of. There's a building degree of tension, and the real question now becomes, does Sean McCulley alter the approach at all, given the circumstances his team finds itself in? Peyton Gallagher with Eric Dobransky here for you on hand for this all-important clash with only 7 games left. These two teams following today. Battery with a win are able to secure their playoff berth. The 11 just above the playoff line following the result against Hartford Athletic. And there's a whole spectrum of outcomes that you can see for the bottom of this Eastern Conference table. It's once more James Musa catapulting in the long throw. A pair of headers and ushered away. Josu Landry. And Salt will take it at feet.
Indy 11, this game still so much to be played, but 2 matchups with 2 teams that are below them in the playoff picture. And if you want to see yourself make the playoffs, great ball.
Finds friendly feet, swept along. Gisette never really gets a chance to give it an inspection off Bruno Rendon, who was playing supplier there.
For Indy 11, you go at Rhode Island, and then you host Birmingham. Those are 2 games that when you're looking to make the playoffs, those are almost playoff games weeks before they start.
Sure. Something that Sean McCulley, I think, was acutely aware of in terms of the squad selection and how they're managing this. Indy did not get to return home for that game against Hartford Athletic in the midweek, which was a makeup game from an earlier date. Cal Jennings, JD Torres can't put a leash to it. Batted out of play for a throw. And Justin finishing out the initial point there with Indy 11. Beyond that, really tough game in the midweek the week before. Then went to penalties in the Jägermeister Cup quarterfinal against Greenville Triumph. So it's been a really rough ride for Sean McCulley's bunch, and maybe in how he picked the team today is trying to manage this late stretch. JD Torres, in similar terms, being managed, having been out of the team for the last couple of weeks. Thrown in due to injury as he replaced Douglas Martinez earlier in this game. He'll get an hour by hook or by crook.
He's just an absolute handful. I mean, he can drop into space, and when he does that, you just don't want to go following him all the time, because then you put yourself out of position, you unbalance your own team, but then you have to be worried about what he sees and how he's able to play that ball in. We've already seen it since he's had to come on in that first half, drop into almost that back line, and he can just clip a ball with such quality. that he can just pick opponents apart.
He is the league's leader in chances created, and he's done so in far fewer games than everybody else. 46 to be precise. Also fancies himself the long shot artist on the year, excuse me, as he is far and away set the high bar in that regard. Averaging over 3 shots from outside the area per 90 this year. Searching in behind, and it's out for a throw. Rather a goal kick, I should say. Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek. Ticket to great seats. What do you think is the most explosive part of Juan David Torres' game? How does he change games?
The way he just manipulates space. I mean, his technical ability forces you to make decisions that don't necessarily pay dividends to your team defensively. I mean,
sure.
Like I said, if he drops in, you gotta step to him, which stretches you, which provides space in behind, and then he can access that space with his ability to play. And then he's explosive 1v1. I mean, he is brave, he is confident. Just all those attributes that you have to deal with for a significant amount of time, and teams have to answer questions when you play the Charleston Battery. And for Sean McCulley's side, I know we looked at the stats before this second half kicked off. When they have the possession numbers they've had, Charleston Battery have 43 final third entries, but only 9 touches in the opposition box.
Trying to add to that tally right now at the top of the area, Juan David Torres. Still springing along, and finally dispossessed. Aaron Malloy fails in his counter-pressing effort. And flushed forward by Murphy. That will offer little relief. Nobody there to attach themselves on the run.
And for Indy 11, have 13 final third entries, but 5 of them have been able to get into the opposition box. So for Ben Pierman and the Charleston Battery, that is a low percentage in regards to how many times you're getting into the final third, but then also finding chances inside the box. Now, obviously, a lot of that is picking and choosing when to upgrade.
Sure.
And seeking that upgrade and that opportunity to make a half chance into a full chance. But I do think some of that has to do with rhythm and tempo and some of the urgency that they play with when they do unlock and play into the final third.
Osu Landry making it stick, but caught up maybe in the flashbulbs of his own moment. Goes a little bit early and listlessly out for a throw. As you see the overall total of how this game has shook out, maybe the number that's sticking out to me most at this point is not the overall delta between the totals of passes, it's the accuracy of which. As Battery have completed 92% of theirs, and the 11 have only been able to actually link a pass on 36% of their attempts.
And you're 100% right. I think that is the number. Obviously, the possession stats are staggering. But this is an Indy 11 team that knew that they were going to have to absorb that number. And even last week when they went to Hartford Athletic, the possession was 64% towards Hartford Athletic, 36 to Indy 11. But the numbers you just displayed, the total passes, the accuracy, I mean, that just shows first ball disruption from the Charleston Battery. And for Sean McCulley and his side, it's just going to be about how creating some of that structure going out. As you see, good spell here from Charleston Battery, and then a free kick earned. Dangerous area.
You know, it would be ambitious for a lot of people, not for Aaron Malloy, not at all. It is a free kick for Charleston Battery in prime real estate. Free kick scoring opportunity is brought to you by ProLift Garage Doors. Another ProLift Garage Doors free kick here for the Battery.
And no surprise, we see Juan David Torres over this as well. So Hunter Solt has to deal with 2 players, have the ability to either play this right over the defensive line or test him into a save.
It's a 2-man barricade for Hunter Solt. well aware of the danger. It's Aaron Malloy. He's made a habit of lifting folks in a moment like this. He only has one goal on the league campaign. Aaron Malloy, Hunter Salt, Common confirmed, takes it wide, it's a corner kick.
And the key is he makes sure he pushes this out of harm's way. He does not allow any sort of rebound, any sort of opportunity.
Taken immediately, Malloy's on the run. Gonna run down, rolling it off.
You can see real intent from the Charleston Battery to play quick on a lot of the dead ball restarts tonight.
Testing the organization of Sean McCauley's bunch.
Don't want to allow them to get set. Definitely have that defensive presence, good ball across.
Jennings, got a look at it. Hunter Salt may have provided a touch. That is not a particular view of the referee.
A casual ball played out of the back. Quality turnover for Charleston Battery. You can see Cal Jennings frustrated that this was not given a corner.
It is a goal kick for Hunter Salt. And away. That is what Juan David Torres brings, though. It's the spontaneity. Ikaza brought in as a substitute in the first half. Missing out is Josu Landry. Apinonu, Juan David Torres with runway. A no-look pass between lines. This is the rhythm, this is the rhyme. And this is a free kick. Provided to Indy 11 after the foul. Battery's brand new 2025 kit is on sale in stadium now and online, courtesy of Hummel, club's official jersey provider. Check out the full line of new Battery gear, including customizable 2025 kits, by visiting shop.charlestonbattery.com. Raucous atmosphere here at Patriots Point. Still on the long journey that they've been on since bringing in Ben Pierman to arrive with that next piece of silverware. Historic sides in American soccer. Maybe more needs to be done to applaud what Lee Cohen has done in building this program as the chief executive. He's the one who sold Ben Pierman. He's the one who sold the players, allowed them to build this roster the way they have. Hard to imagine a better run club in the USL Championship than what Charleston Battery have been in the last 3 seasons. Strong strides out of the back. Snatched away by Indy 11. Murphy. And that is a thudding challenge from Emilio Ikaza, who is summarily shown the yellow card.
And a player that is going to continue to find themselves right in the thick of things when it comes to slowing down some of these transition moments, especially when you get a quick deflection like that coming off of a defensive moment. You need to slow the play down, and you see both players acknowledging that play. And Ikaza on the yellow now, here on out, as we see some changes coming for Indy 11.
You wonder when they might come. This is the A team. Malik Foster, Romario Williams. It looks like Jack Blake. Those 3 players alone probably make up about 50% of the goal output, if not more, for Indy 11 this year. The back stick, it's knotted off the noggin of James Musa. Throws himself into a tackle. Hunting impacts here, Indy 11. 2 center backs up in the press. And to that point, they might be a little bit out of shape defensively. If Charleston Battery can get going. Aaron Malloy, always retentive with the ball. And Ikaza checking the rearview mirrors before he gets going.
This playoff picture in the East just continues to be just pure chaos and obviously drama for everybody that's not involved, every fan and every outsider. I mean, you look at Indy 11 and Rhode Island, and then you take a look at Birmingham Legion, who are idle this weekend, don't play until Wednesday when they play Tampa Bay Rowdies, who are going to be coming off a match against Sacramento Republic tonight. Then they go to Indy 11. I mean, they're going to be looking at these two matches, the Indy 11 match tonight here against Charleston, and then the Rhode Island match against Lou City. They could be right in the thick of things as well.
This could be useful. Malloy stepping in and finding that presence as sheriff in front of the back line. And a cheeky little flick. And MD Myers. And roll ahead with piercing precision for Juan David Torres, who sweeps infield and just scuffed away what would have been a symphony of a scoring move for Charleston Battery. The foul has been given.
This all starts with a clever play, but and then it's followed through with that selfless running. You see that darting run from Cal Jennings that opens up that space for Juan David Torres.
Here is the triple change. Malik Foster, Mario Williams. Malik Foster had a goal in that last game against Hartford. Mario assisted one as well. Jack Blake also thrown into the contest, who had the other goal in that game. Rendon makes his exit as Bernays. Those three players coming on bring with them 16 total goals on the year. And this is going to be a change that completely changes the outlay. The final player given the hook is Edward Chizop. This is likely always what the plan was for Sean McCauley, premeditated and at the hour mark.
It was going to be something where they continued to gauge the temperature of this match. How they continued to build into it, find some outlets going forward, and manage minutes as well.
Backheel flick from Williams and Malik Foster, immediately adding spark. Able to pick up the pieces in the area. There's a late arriving Jack Blake. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights. Plus your live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157, the new Sirius XM app.
Let's see how these changes influence the rhythm of this matchup. Now do you see Indy 11 start to open up a bit more, go at the equalizer?
And it was Bruno Rendon actually receiving instruction at the touchline. He did not come off. So that adds a little bit more width and dimension outside this new attacking trio for Indy 11. One of those new players is over the ball and takes it quickly. Malik Foster cunning as he cut into the corner, but knocked out Fox, the ever foxy Juan David Torres. Corner kick though.
And going to be exactly what Indy 11 are looking for. Not only create some valuable opportunities, but manage those opportunities.
Remains with James Murphy. Within swing, with good location. And it comes off the forehead of Bruno Rendon without much incident. Battery matches are the perfect place to make lifelong memories with your friends and family. Your group of 10 or more can enjoy discounted tickets, exclusive on-field experiences, and private hospitality areas to catch the match. Visit charlestonbattery.com to learn more and plan a memorable night at Patriots Point. Indy 11 looking much more likely to maybe make it memorable for themselves with how they have reoriented after that triple change. Now, just in working the numbers and doing the accounting, cursory glance here, and given accurate possession numbers are kind of like sacks in the NFL, past 2018 in the USL Championship, you can't really get them. But that being said, with what it was at halftime, this would be the greatest share of possession ever recorded in a USL Championship game at 83%. Indy 11 was actually the victim of the last time it happened, when it was 80% last year with Las Vegas Lights. Charleston Battery have not let loose their grip until right now. Josh O'Brien on approach. He's got Romario Williams for company, who takes a heavy first touch. Aaron Malloy covering the full distance of the field, and now it's Juan David Torres with new space. Rocking and rolling past one tackle. And probably a wise foul to give away for the youngster Brian Schaefer to stop the break. That will get Charleston Battery with an elevated heart rate, though. So we take a review of what was a real chance, the best of the night for Indy 11.
You just get this last heavy touch from Williams, who had just come onto the match. Just needs to be a bit tidier there. Then foul here, you gotta slow down Juan David Torres somehow. And again, you're living on that edge right now for Indy 11, because you do need to open up and go after that equalizer, but you also don't want to concede a second goal. But you are going to get to a point in this match where it's not going to matter, because now points are points. If you pick up 0 or if you pick up 1 or 3, you want to put yourself in a position where you're picking up positive points. So if that means having to open yourself up and possibly concede a second, it is what it is, because you have to be very explosive and very opportunistic.
Stoppage in play. It is Sumarai making only his second start tonight with the club after joining recently. Had been playing in the Canadian Premiership with York United. He's been in the thick of what's been a physically challenging game for Indy 11. And, you know, just in kind of closing the loop there on what you were saying about being brave and willing to take the chance, at this point, if you're Indy 11, goal difference is probably not going to help you into the dance.
No, absolutely. You're not going to look at that and have that influence that tiebreaker going into the playoffs. So you're going to have to go after these points. And again, this game for Indy 11, I know they have managed some loud opportunities from the Charleston Battery, but they have put themselves in a position where they can go at Charleston Battery and pick some quality moments. So you have to be careful, you have to be aware, you have to be switched on. That rest defense for Charleston Battery.
Schaefer heads it over the goalkeeper. It's free. It's thundered home. It's a disaster. And it's Cal Jennings at the double. The youngster Brian Schaefer in his first Indy 11 start with too much lift on his header back to the goalkeeper.
And just relentless pressure from Cal Jennings, making something out of nothing. This ball gets played over the top, and why not go after it? Why not put the pressure on Indy 11 to make a play going backwards, facing their own goal? You just see the slightest of communication there, but when Cal Jennings is putting the pressure on, you feel it, and you feel like you have to make a play, and unfortunately, make the wrong one for Indy 11, and Cal Jennings is there to capitalize and put his team up 2-0 with the brace on the night.
14 on the year. He scored 2 in the last hour. It's more than he had in the last 2 months. It is another Diamond Direct goal, and it's got Charleston Battery feeling all the warm and fuzzy feelings as they are much more comfortable now. Malik Foster! It's gone out for a goal kick. Malik Foster does not believe that that is a righteous outcome. eFootball is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now.
And that's what some of the most prolific and most dangerous goal scorers do. They not only score the goals that you feel like they should in terms of those clinical moments, the quality in front of goal, but they get those gritty goals too. They get that hard-working goal where you're just putting pressure under a back line. You're picking it up in really an unsuspecting manner. You're just causing turnovers, causing havoc.
And it's why the man that wears 26 is the archetypal 9 for Charleston Battery in the way that Ben Pierman, top to bottom, wants to run this program. A hardy foul from a frustrated Malik Foster. He has shown the colors, a yellow card for him.
Now for Indy 11, we were just talking about some of that ability to go forward and be brave going forward. Now you have to multiply that by 100. You have to break this game up into two 10-minute halves for this final 20 minutes. You got to try to pull one back in this next 10 minutes and put yourself in a position where you could put a lot of pressure on Charleston Battery from that 80th minute beyond.
The hard reality, though, is where many teams would maybe turn armadillo and hunker in. Charleston Battery will not do that. They will defend with the ball. It will have to be earned here on the road if Indy 11 are to create quite a scene. It's a throw-in for Indy 11. Good time to tell you the Battery are back in action here at Patriots Point on September 13th as they take on Oakland Roots. Tickets for the match are on sale now via SeatGeek, official ticket provider of the Battery. Get yours now. And this was an oddity in the schedule making. As Charleston Battery look down the road here, they will play more Western Conference opposition than Eastern Conference opposition, with 5 consecutive coming. Slammed away by James Musa. Not quite sure how the computers got to that conclusion.
They did give them more home games.
That's true. It's true.
Just add that in there. But yeah, it is an oddity, especially when you look at the scheduling throughout the Eastern Conference and obviously the West as well, is how many matchups do you have with teams that you're trying to play catch up with? And that's more of the teams that are below the playoff line. Good ball in.
Mario Williams at the canter. Rendon to his right. Williams goes it alone. It's brilliantly blocked by Akpinonu. Akpinonu back in the starting 11 today. He had not started since being pulled at halftime 4 games ago against Louisville City. He's been on the redemption arc today. And we are right at that bar. The historic mark of 80-20. It's not ground beef. That's possession. And it is a free kick setting here on the corner. It gets away from Zamudio, hit towards goal, and it finds a home in the top corner. It's Jack Blake. And Indy 11 all of a sudden restored into the contest.
And this is exactly what you're looking for Indy 11. Quick response after conceding that second goal. Staying focused, staying quality on this service. You get the delivery, and then you get the chaos. Obviously, Zamudio tries to punch it, doesn't punch it far enough. You give that opportunity to Blake, and he knows what to do with it. What a terrific volley. Had a fantastic opening goal against Hartford Athletic in the 3rd minute. Comes on as a substitute tonight. Makes that immediate impact.
4 goals in 4 games for him now. And he is hitting all the right notes. That was so well taken. And it's a whole new game. Indy 11 will be regretting the moment only preceding that by a couple of seconds, as they are at their heels again. Charleston Battery with renewed ambition. Torres flies one in, and so will grab it. Indy 11 getting one more ready. It looked like at a glance that was Cam Lindley. He may enter a new game if Ikaza has something to say. Cal Jennings sitting on the hat trick. Turned away, Torres! And it's a flying stop from Hunter Schultz. They hang on to the ledge with white knuckles there, and it's a corner kick.
And if Indy 11 are to come back and level this match, you're going to look at these two big saves from Schultz. First here on MD Myers, and on Torres.
Charleston Battery prepping the corner. Hunter Schultz had lost his job to Reese Charles Cook as he dealt with injury. Thrown back in for 7 saves in the second half against Hartford. He's standing on his head again. And he's touched this one off the woodwork. Wrangled by JD Torres. Back behind the ball in force, Indy 11. Space on the flank. Aaron Malloy, he's whittling. Arturo Rodriguez. Torres lining one up and splashing it high. Chance is gone, like vapor for Charleston Battery.
Another touch by Hunter Schultz. He's been very active and had needed to be his last few possessions.
Brem Sumare exits, and it looks like Cam Lindley will replace him in the contests. Away by Schultz. Well, one thing is for certain, Indy 11 have been heroic enough in their effort to maybe earn a chance here late. USL Championship and League One are on the CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day at CBS Sports, Golazo Network, and ESPN Plus, USLChampionship.com, USLLeague1.com, for complete USL TV listings. Glad you're spending your time with us on this evening. It's September now, and it all counts for a little bit more. James Murphy, his corner. Got Indy 11 back in. His free kick enters the area and draws an overly ambitious jump from James Musa.
And Peyton, I know the momentum and the rhythm has changed since the substitutions for Indy 11, but this has been all about a collective effort for Indy 11, because it is the work of the 11 that started this match and have seen it through these moments, and now you bring on the substitutes. They've played massive roles in determining how this game is being played out, and now with plenty of time and opportunity to create some chances.
It takes something special to come into these confines and come away with all 3 points. In the 11, you can see it by the way that red on their shirt has changed colors through the night. They have done at least everything that's required in terms of what's given in sweat. Malik Foster leads a raiding party out on the attack and gets it right back on the return. Foster's early cross, guided away by Leland Archer. A tiny touch from Malik Foster to retain. And driving and juking. Romario Williams got hit, no call.
And that's going to be the struggle for Indy 11 in regards to the numbers in the box. As this game wears on, as this time ticks away, kind of throwing that caution to the wind, throwing numbers in, because those were 2 runs from Malik Foster that you consistently saw only 2 players in the box, which again, can be sufficient enough to create a chance, but it has to be some recycled movement, it has to be some explosive movement to get back into position. But you almost felt like in the second run for Malik Foster that you were going to get at least another 1 or 2 bodies in that box.
Oh, it's come off the referee. And play, because no advantage immediately presented, we'll have to restart with a drop ball. It was very open for Indy 11 had the referee not intervened. 12 minutes left. A little bit less so. Getting late early at Patriots Point. Indy 11 have yet to win 3 of 4 games this year. Trying to nick a result on the road. Good one-on-one defending from Josu Landry.
Now you're going to see that long throw in again, and this is going to be an opportunity for Indy 11 to get numbers in the box. Use this as a set piece.
They scored their 17th and league best set piece goal earlier in this game. James Musa, he needs inspiration. He is the trebuchet. It's a mile high and it's dangerous. And nobody's there at the back stick. Indy 11 go again, revving the engine. Rocked in from deep, it gets away. Helped along, Bruno Rendon. Took too much time. And it's the one-man army that is JD Torres that's running in. James Musa backed off. Torres, oh, what a ball! And it's an inch wide if that's. Mind-melting from JD Torres and unable to finish in space is Arturo Rodriguez.
And absolutely spectacular from Charleston Battery. They have just gone from box to box with big plays. Starts with a defensive intervention that probably saves a goal and then goes right down the field, and you put that ball on the foot of Juan David Torres.
How many players arrogant enough to try that in transition like JD Torres? Malik Foster, he's up to his usual tricks. He's a box full of them, and he's sprayed an excellent ball. Rendon across the bow. Latching on at the last was Josh O'Brien, unable to make it stick in the area.
And now we're seeing some of those late entries from Indy 11. And sometimes when you get those late entries, you're working off the blind shoulder, you're losing track of your mark. And that's where, for Indy 11, it can pay dividends. You can find some dangerous looks moving forward.
I'll say this. This is an unrecognizable game from the first 75 minutes. Here Malloy. A dainty little pitch over to Akpanonu. And Torres, who's starting to really grab hold of the wheel. Ikaza. Battery right there on the precipice of where their season really starts. Berth all but secure if they can hold on. Akpanonu. Aaron Malloy.
And back to your point just a minute ago, both these teams having to navigate the ebbs and flows, the challenges that are presented in a matchup. As you see, Indy 11 has so much intent going forward now in hot pursuit in terms of the pressure, in terms of the ability to get back on the ball and then go be dangerous.
In terms of the intensity, the way the game can change complexion so quickly, the tactical nous that we've seen today feels a lot like a playoff game.
I would agree 100%. I was actually about to say the same thing. This is the responses that you're going to need from both these teams in a playoff environment. I mean, Indy 11, you concede a second goal with Cal Jennings applying that pressure. That's a big play for the Charleston Battery. And obviously for Charleston Battery, you're probably going to look offensively and say, hey, we probably should have created some more full chances in areas that you were looking to upgrade, but you just couldn't meet it with that final action, that final pass, that final shot. Obviously, a lot of credit to Indy 11 for getting a lot of blocks in front of, in and around goal that negated and minimized some of that threat. And then Indy 11, the ability to absorb so much of that pressure and suffer in those defensive moments find their goal in the set piece and put themselves right in the mix here at the end.
He comes up. It can be overplayed, that notion that, hey, it feels like a playoff game, but seriously, in every intensive purpose, this really does feel like a preview of what could be a 2-7 type of matchup.
And this is right here is going to be, what do you want this next scenario to be like? Because Charleston Battery obviously feel very content with just knocking it around side to side, keeping it at midfield. So for Indy 11, what are you going to do collectively to get this ball back and create some of the scoring opportunities that you need to create because you're down the goal?
So from the coach's perspective, what's restraining Sean McCauley from ratcheting up the press here?
I mean, the buttons that they have pushed tonight, I don't know if I would fully question, because maybe he's looking at 5 minutes. Maybe he sees that 5-minute mark, and now you can go all out pressure. You can really be relentless in where you guard areas and where you force Charleston Battery to play into, and not necessarily just go running around chasing the ball. But
well, if it finishes this way, there is nobody else that will be on the marquee tonight's Fix It 24/7. Man of the match is the man who fixed that goalless drought. It's, of course, Cal Jennings, who on the brace is the difference.
And variety is what labels high-quality goal scorers: penalty and then pressure. And that's where Cal Jennings is the difference in this matchup right now. Obviously, MD Myers earning that penalty is huge. The play that he makes inside the box.
Rendon helps it along. It's still free. There's a body down. Bill Benzela at least gave it a little thought. It's Cam Lindley that resurges the ball into the area, and it's well served. Musa and Malik Foster. Leland Archer comes to contest. James Musa. James Musa! And it's a skipping stone that cuts across a placid pond. Nobody to make that real ripple at the back stick.
All right, now for my guess, now that we're under the 5-minute mark, do you see Indy 11 ramp up the pressure and start going all out and regaining the possession higher up the field? We see already the starting points being higher for Indy 11 on this goal kick.
And the last reinforcement is being charged. Elliot Collier, who on the season has been used as a sub already 15 times. Hoping to maybe energize one last push from Indy 11. Everything but the kitchen sink, and maybe also the kitchen sink. Juan David Torres. Aaron Malloy.
Yeah, for Indy 11, you've put yourself where you're in striking distance. You might as well go all out, put the pressure on, go up the field and get one more clean look at goal.
There's plenty of exploratory space. Malik Foster making that diagonal run and found the blind spot of the center back, but there's not enough space between he and the edge of the 18.
Trying to reap the benefits of some of that pressure that Cal Jennings put on his team. There, Malik Foster putting that pressure on Zamudio.
Elliot Collier is the substitution that's waiting in the wings. He is the club's all-time leader in substitute appearances, and in fact, this is his 50th. This is what he does, a specialist in every regard, a whirling dervish of a striker.
And no stranger to late game heroics. So you have that experience, and that experience being clinical and being efficient.
Foster spearing into the box, still Malik Foster! And Leland Archer was not to be unsteadied at the back. It's a corner.
And you pulled one back from a corner kick, so now you're already feeling that confidence. You feel like you're occupying the right spaces, you're asking the right questions. That subtle movement from Blake on that first goal to drop into that space after that first touch.
Without swing, nicked on at the near post, Musa. had a great look at it. A second ball coming. Off the head of Ofemu. And it's without fangs that it arrives on the lap of Luis Zamudio.
It almost looked like it caught Musa by surprise. That slight deflection fell right in front.
Let off the hook for now. Charleston Battery. Away by Akpanonu, not taking any chances. And there's the final trio of changes to be made by Ben Pierman. And they are of no uncertain fashion to steady things defensively. A pair of center backs being brought on. Of course, Nathan Dos Santos, his natural position might be more of a center back, but he plays fullback on this team when required. Graham Smith as well, so you can make it a triple change of all center backs. Langston Blackstock also coming off, and that last name to read, Michael Edwards. One injected in. That is a statement of intent, and Emiliano Ikaza is pulled from the game. He was substituted in the first half. It is a public sub. It is the final 30 seconds before the board goes up. Elliot Collier back to goal. Calibrations and arithmetic on the stoppage time. Bruno Rendon. Romario Williams can't get it out from underneath his feet. Aaron Malloy's kept it on. Who knows if that would have been a corner if he had let it lie. It's re-won by Indy 11. Musa has gone to his backside, and where that ball ends up will be a great expedition to find. In stoppage time now, 4 minutes of it to be precise. Stoppage time is brought to you by MUSC Health. Indy 11 have just crossed the threshold of the last chance saloon. Up and away. And the flag is raised. That might be the first offside we've seen all night.
Starting to see that play with desperation. They know that they only need one look. That play from Romario Williams just a few moments ago. Deflects off a couple of Charleston Battery players, and Aaron Malloy does a good job of keeping in for not to concede a corner. See Williams, he's been heavily involved. He's not been able to necessarily create a clear-cut look or fight through some of that traffic, but you see the possession numbers continue for Charleston Battery, but Indy 11 have not gone down without a fight.
That fight may be rewarded in the table. Everything settles today. Rhode Island FC can't get back level with Louisville City. Indy 11 will secure, at least for the night, their playoff positioning in the 8th spot on 26 points. It is without any result here tonight. Of course, a point can only help their particular pursuits. Right now they can't get a glove on the ball, though.
And what you have to be careful about for Indy 11 is not concede a free kick. This is a good job of regaining possession. It almost looked like Charleston Battery were going to have a spell there where you could see a good 30, 45 seconds come off the clock.
Rendon. Elliot Collier at the touchline. He's won a throw. Is it the late show for Indy 11? Served in by Lindley. It's a direct ball that causes little issue for Zamudio. Tick, tick, tick.
It's interesting there because when you get Musa on that throw-in. You already have that anticipation that it's going to be the long throw-in, so you drop the numbers in the box. Did leave that space deeper on the field to get on the ball and then clip that service in, but unfortunately you're just not able to move Zamudio right now because you just don't have the traffic there in the final third. We're asking the questions there where you are having him have to shift right and left, and now you do to concede the free kick. About 30 seconds left.
That is divine from Aaron Malloy. And he's picked out Juan David Torres. The steady hand with the red hair. He has been much involved today, Aaron Malloy. Cal Jennings, his extra effort to get the second. That proves what might be the most pivotal margin in the game. Juan David Torres with a back heel flick. Arturo Rodriguez now. Josu Landry scopes in. Cal Jennings, who plates it at the back post, and nobody's there. So unselfish as he turns down his chance to the hat trick. But as the game comes to its final bell, it's he who has Charleston Battery pocketing another 3 points. Indy 11, give it a good go, but it's not enough.
And clinch a spot in the playoffs, and this is going to be something that Charleston Battery we're going to want to continue to fine-tune as they approach the playoffs, is some of these tighter margins, winning victories in those one-goal games.
It is a true testing of two teams against one another. Indy 11 earned the right to compete today against one of the league's best, but Charleston Battery, just in the small margins, do enough. This is the good bit in the USL Championship season. Cal Jennings, enough to take his side across the line on the night as it finishes at Patriots Point. We will pick through the bones when we return on the other end of a break.
What do you want?
What's that really good non-alcoholic beer I keep hearing about?
Do you have that really great non-alcoholic beer that I keep seeing?
Do you have a non-alcoholic beer that actually
tastes good?
It's athletic. You're holding it.
You mean athletic? You're looking at it.
I think you mean athletic.
It's athletic. Ask for it.
Return to the field. Scored the winning shot. Beat your personal record. Team up with MUSC Health Sports Medicine for all your sports-related injury care and rehabilitation. MUSC Health is the official sports medicine provider for your favorite local teams. From semi-pro athletes to weekend warriors, our sports medicine team provides state-of-the-art injury prevention, treatment, surgery, and rehabilitation for athletes of all ages. Go where the pros go. Schedule an appointment today.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
That's the final score, and it's brought to you by Pepper Law Firm. It's 2-1. Indy 11 gave a fright to Charleston Battery at the end, but ultimately not enough, as they are undone by one of the league's best on their home patch. So we look forward to
bit of frenetic finish because Indy 11 just create one more chance and they possibly pull out the equalizer, but they just were not able to put up the pressure where they turned Charleston Battery over. Again, Charleston Battery, the details in which they are finishing out games becomes very important as you go into the playoffs.
Full-time stats brought to you by Gildan. And the possessional number does not hit the all-time threshold, does not miss out by much. Charleston Battery have had well over 1,000 passes over the course of their last 2 games. They will earn a rightful rest before being in action again next Saturday at home against Oakland Roots. Set to step aside here in South Carolina, where it is the Carolinians that carry the day over Indy 11. My partner, Eric Dobransky, and our entire cast and crew have done a wonderful job bringing this game to you tonight. Folks, I have been Peyton Gallagher. This is the drama you come for at the closing end, the pivotal points in the USL Championship season. USL Championship rolls on, folks. For now, we will talk to you soon. The final score, 2-1.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.